Hmm. Well. We're back in the healing space once more again. Before we begin today's session, I would like for you to tell me about the audio quality. Let me know how the audio is. Okay, let me know. Let's just do a check on the audio first before we even begin into the space. Greetings, wholeness, great rising, all the beautiful souls who rise today, as you should, of course. Watagwan. And where you guys from? If you don't mind sharing that with me, let me know what part of the world are you from. So my audio is good. Look at that. Normally I gotta go through a little bit of stuff with the audio, but the audio is right off the bat today. So okay, the energy is good today. Energy is good. You wanna know what's so interesting? Would you believe me if I tell you that I don't even know what day today is? I have no idea. I feel like it's Saturday, but actually not sure what day it is. That's how like I've been spending so much more time in my inner world to the point where I've not been focusing much more on external things in that sense, meditation and all of that, working on some very project and writing the books and all that kind of stuff. So I've been so much, I would say, in the inner dimension of self for a majority of the last 2 weeks, I would say, in a more concentrated form. So yeah, you guys, I haven't been here with you for a long time. We did a live like a couple of days ago, but I haven't like been here consistently because I'm working on some stuff. However, the energy arise, and the energy was like, okay, we need to come into the healing space today. We need to hold a very divine meeting, and we got some things that we need to talk about. Yeah. So before I even go into that, before we even start our session today, now that my audio is good, I'm gonna go prepare some tea because we're gonna need some tea for today. Okay, we're gonna need some tea for today. All right, because we're gonna get into the realm of metaphysics. Okay, we're gonna get into healing of the body. We're gonna get into different healing mythologies. Okay, might even get into some more cosmic things as well. I don't know. Let's see where the energy actually takes us. But let's give everybody else some more time to tap in. You guys know that I am shadow banned just about on all platforms. So anything that I post or me going live, they definitely limit the reach. So most people don't even know that I'm live, but that's okay. Okay, we're not gonna feed into that, whatever not. We're just gonna keep vibrating that frequency regardless. Okay. And everybody will find the information in divine timing. Okay. Yeah. That's one thing about in the matrix. You can't allow them to dim your light or try to stop you. Just keep going. If you refuse to quit or refuse to stop, then nothing can really stop you, right? Because remember, the power comes from within, not externally. But be mindful, you're going to be confronted by external forces that's going to try to like dim the light down. You get what I'm saying? But never stop shining. Keep doing what God put you here to do and live within that divine purpose and move with divine authority. Okay, that's how you move toward the matrix. Inner power, not external power or validation. All right. So here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna make our tea before we even begin today's session. And what I have some Mexican mint. I got some Mexican mint, and I'm gonna pair it with a little bit of rosemary, and that's gonna be my tea for the morning. Now I know for a lot of y'all, like you really didn't want to see me here today. Like, trust me, I know. There's a lot of people they don't want to see me here today because every time I pop up on their screen, they're forced to take accountability for their own self-abuse. As we talked about before, you'd be surprised that at least 90% of people don't really truly love themselves. They only love themselves to the extent of surviving just so that they can enjoy another day of pleasure, but they don't have that intrinsic, deeper soul connection with themselves or their own purpose. So these people tend to live life through stimulation, the daily stimulation of sex and food and entertainment, basically things that occupies their time, and they go through the motions from one day to the next day to the next week to the next month to the next year, and they keep on just riding that little surface level wave and call it life, right? And whenever they're confronted by anyone or any truth or any reality or any facts that forces them to take accountability and see life from a deeper lens or a deeper perspective, they tend to run away from it. See, because what? It basically shakes up the foundation of what makes them comfortable. Most people, they don't even like truth that makes them uncomfortable. They want to be lied to stay within the illusion because those are the boundaries that they know. And that's why Morpheus says in the Matrix that some people are so hopelessly dependent upon the system that they will fight to protect it. Because you can come in and laying out the facts and the information and be like, okay, here's you go. This is what happened. This is how this works. And they'll fight you for coming to try to wake them up. Like, how you dare you interrupt with my sleep? How dare you interrupt with my state of comatose, trying to come wake me up out of this fake reality, and you know that I'm comfortable and I'm having the time of my life. Like literally, they will fight your ass. Okay, that's one thing about the Matrix. It's not much difference from like if somebody's drowning. Okay, if somebody's drowning, it's always a recommendation not to try to approach them because they're gonna grab onto you and drown you too. You have to basically go from behind them and try and push them up so that they can get some air. But if somebody's drowning and you rush out there to try to help them, they're just gonna grab onto you. Not that they're trying to deliberately trying to kill you, but just out of the fright and the fear of them not wanting to drown. They will sink you just to save themselves, even though you came to save them. So the moral of the story, you have to learn how to approach people when they're in certain predicaments because they will, yeah, you will try to save them from their circumstances and they will end up just killing you for trying to help them. Okay? So just keep that into the back of your mind. All right? Anyway, so funny enough, this mint, I can't tell you the exact scientific name of this mint because it wasn't on the package, right? But there's this Mexican store that I love. If I didn't tell you guys before, I really love Mexican people. Okay, even when it comes to like the workers, like when I'm billing my shop or getting some work done, I tend to go to Home Depot to get some of the Mexican in the parking lot because they can work. Okay, they're very nice people. I know when I come on the internet, I see people talking about, oh, don't go to Mexico because of the drug cartels and what they're doing over there. And but my experience with them, they're some of the most nicest people I've ever met, honestly. And as you guys know, that I'm an electrician as well. Okay, so I'm a master electrician. I do industrial, commercial, residential, literally. And so when I used to work for electrical companies years back, you see, it's like, yeah, I work with a lot of Mexicans on those jobs and stuff, and they're very, very nice people, right? And so when it comes to finding healthy foods like burro bananas, you're gonna find jelly coconuts, you're gonna find natural foods, you're gonna find those at the Mexican store. When you want to find herbs, you're gonna find that at a Mexican store because these people, they still hold their culture. Like their cultural values is still rich. So it doesn't matter where they go, they're gonna basically bring in those natural cultural products, which is basically shared amongst just about all indigenous people. So, obviously it's a vibe for me. Okay, so that's where I go to shop, that's where I buy most of everything when it comes to natural foods. And so I came across this mint. And I love the mint so bad, but there is no scientific name on it. So I don't know what to tell you how to find it. I just know where to go and get it. And it's always in a clear bag for like what? Um, $4.69. And let me tell you, it is sensational. Okay. It is sensational. Okay. So yeah, I love Mexican people. Also, so I studied the work of a Mexican shaman. Listen, that was so enlightening. It's called Don Juan. I know some of you guys ever heard about Don Juan, but Don Juan is a Mexican shaman, and he had an apprentice called Carlos Castanedas. Can't pronounce the last name properly, but I studied some esoteric books, okay, about spirituality and different dimensions, because shamans basically experience the world to a different lens than a regular person. Okay, a regular person just gets up, oh, TV on, oh, movies, oh, go to the club, oh, sex and food and vote for the president. Okay, but a shaman literally walks between both worlds, the physical world and the unseen world. Okay, and a shaman also move through all the planes, not only just the physical plane, but they move throughout the astral plane, the mental plane, and the etheric plane. Okay, and so a lot of these shamans too, they tend to also use different kind of herbs and substances because these are like gateways that opens into different portals. So I'm not gonna go too deep into that, but I was just trying to give you some insight that I really learn a lot from Mexicans for sure. And so the books that I read from Don Juan that was written by Carlos, it was so insightful. Like I'm telling you, it's just on a whole different level. Okay. Yeah, as you can tell, it's like the excitement for me to even share this with you is so overwhelming to the point where I can't find words to kind of like put it into context. But yeah, okay, yeah. So yeah. Anyway. Let's get our tea sorted out. Let me heat up the water a little bit more. Okay, and also I feel like I'm gonna do a sale today. I feel like to do a sale today with y'all online. Okay. Greetings, Wagwan. What is going on? All right. So now we're gonna add a little bit of rosemary. Okay, a little bit of rosemary. Just about that should good. So I kind of like my rosemary a little bit strong too. I ain't gonna lie to you. Okay, that should be good. I'm gonna make it too overpowering. Yeah, my rosemary is almost done. See how much you drink rosemary? But I also use rosemary to make the brain power tonic. If you guys have ever tried the brain power tonic from our website, then you know how powerful the brain power tonic is. See, because here's the thing about rosemary. So rosemary not only does it have a very high fragrant, right? Now we gotta go into the realms of rosemary. See, I just can't explain things on a surface level. It's like naturally my mind has to penetrate it to the depth and give you all the information about rosemary. It's kind of like how my mind works. I've been trying to just be surface level, but my brain just doesn't work like that. Okay, so first of all, rosemary is a divine feminine plant. Okay, now keep in mind when it comes to herbs, plants, and herbal medicine, right? They correspond to they correspond to elements. So every herb belongs to an element. There's some herbs that have multiple different elements and can serve as a go in between different elements. All right. So now I know. Okay, I know when it comes to herbal medicine, a lot of people don't really have the depth of knowledge because what 90% of the people that you see online selling herbs are just selling herbs for money. They're not no herbalists. Okay, they're just reading books, regurgitating information. Okay, they don't have the gift, they don't have the wisdom, they're not born to do this. Okay, that's 90% of everybody you see on the internet that's selling herbs. And if you also notice, you never see them in nature harvesting a plant. Okay, herbalism and plant medicine is just become very trendy. And so everybody's trying to get in on it to sell products and sell this cleanse and buy this from me, whatever. So they've basically perverted something that was sacred because generally or in any how would I put it? Okay, so let's just put it like this. Generally, in order for you to even find somebody who do herbs, you normally have to travel like up into the mountains or travel to like Peru or travel to like the village or something where somebody who specializes in no, because that's their purpose, that's their gift. The problem is the internet. See, the thing about the internet is cool because it truly allows us to connect with people from all over the world, but also the internet tends to water down things that are sacred. And people who have no identity or no purpose, they will try to attach themselves to anything they feel that can be profitable or anything that can give them some kind of a power, Generally, that's how people kind of like operate. They'll attach themselves to anything that's trendy, anything that gives them attention, anything that they can profit off of. So that's the downside to the internet. So now you have everybody selling herbs, and you've never seen them in nature harvesting a single plant before. Okay, they don't understand the elements of the plants. They cannot communicate with the plants. They don't understand the essences behind the plants. They don't understand the constituents or the compounds. They don't know the proper time, moon phase to harvest the plant in its potency. None of that. It's all about just watching a Dr. Sebi video or reading a Dr. Lela Africa book or Dr. Clark book and just, oh, wormwood clove and zeolite and whatever not, and just selling stuff to make a lot of money off of it, but don't contain the actual knowledge, don't have the substance behind it to even really teach you anything aside from making a sale. So for a lot of y'all, like the door that we're about to go through right now is gonna be probably foreign to your consciousness again. Okay, because I can tell that for a lot of y'all, you've never actually encountered like a real herbalist before. Okay, somebody who's born to do this with the wisdom, with the knowledge, with the bloodline, with the connection, with the passion, and with the love. It's a complete different level from the surface level salespeople bullshit. Okay, so I'm gonna touch on a few of these herbs for a little bit, right? But some of these concepts and some of these awareness that we're gonna tap into may be a little bit new or foreign to your consciousness. But guess what? You're now within the healing space and you're here to learn. Okay. Also within the healing space, any topic or conversation that we talked about, I always give you proof so that it can make sense. Okay. If any of y'all have been in here for quite a while, you already kind of like know that we operate from expressing independent thought. And I encourage you to think for yourself and to make it make sense. Not just believing something because somebody says it. It needs to make perfect sense. Okay. By the way, let me just try this code before we even get into deep into the live. Can you type number 6 in the comment section and tell me if you get an email? Type the number 6 in the comment section. Basically, I set up like a discount code we're supposed to automatically send to you, but let's just see if it's still working. Hey Bella, wagwan mama. You know, so one time a while ago, I say, I wonder what Bella did. I say, to me, know, so she a sleep queen. Probably she never wake up yet. Okay, it at work. The number 6 is working, guys. Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. It's working now. Okay. Okay, cool. So for anybody who's coming in on the live, if you want to get anything from the website and you want a discount, you can just tap the number 6 and it is going to send you a link and a discount code. And you can also, whatever your condition is, whether you want to do a heal detox, you want feminine products, whatever not, you can just click it there and it'll take you or navigate you to exactly where you need to go. Oh, damn. I'm here chatting and I didn't even put the water on the tea. All right, so let me let it boil up a little bit more before we get into rosemary. Okay, that should be good. So, okay, so here's the thing. When it comes to herbs, because they're leaves and the leaves are very delicate, you don't necessarily really have to boil it. Okay, you can just pour hot water on it because it's leaves. Okay, so because it's leaves, it's very, very delicate, which means that the healing constituents and compounds will be released very easier, right? Yeah. When it comes to barks and roots, those are more harder, denser materials. So obviously, with a harder, denser material, you're gonna boil it. You need more aggressive temperature to break the bonds, right? The bonds between the molecules, which is going to allow the healing compounds or constituents to be released into the water, right? And there you have it. So again, when it comes to leaves and things that are delicate, you don't need to boil it. You just pour hot water on it and you let it steep. When it comes to roots and barks and harder materials, you're gonna boil those for a couple of minutes. Okay, we got that? Good. Because even though we've been talking about this stuff on live for years, some of you guys still email me, still calling the shop, asking me about some basic stuff. I'm like, You've been in the healing space for a long time. We're like, what's going on with you? You know? So yeah. All right. So here's what I want you to understand about herbs. Herbs are not forest decoration. That's why the Bible even says, I give you herbs for the healing of the nation. Okay? It's a reason why it's inside of the Bible. I want you to understand something. Okay? Even though we're not religious, we're not no religious fanatic to the extreme like how some people are, we still acknowledge that the Bible contains ancient knowledge, which if you know how to interpret it and how to apply it to your life, you will see that it's actually a manual allowing you to elevate your consciousness and to raise your vibration. It's just that a lot of people have taken the book, right, and start to interpret it as like things that happened in the past, and these were real people that was in there, but it's actually, if you know how to interpret it to what we call allegory, you can tell that it's literally teaching you how to raise your vibration and raise your consciousness. Hear me out. Hear me out. I know a lot of people, they, oh, religious, relax. I want you to think about what I'm saying. Okay? Because I have to start at the foundation, which is going to support the other levels of the build as we go forward into this level of wisdom. So notice the Bible tells you the kind of food to eat. It says, I give you fruits and seed for food. And we know that fruits and vegetables and stuff are more healthier for the human body. Not to say that everybody should just be eating that strictly. We don't gotta be too extremist with it at the same time. But we just wanna express the significance and the relationship between the human body and plants. So we know that plants and the human body have a symbiotic relationship, correct? Yes. How do we prove that? Well, for the main fact that the very oxygen that you're breathing right now is coming from the plant kingdom. Again, we don't need to be super scientific either. We also know that chlorophyll in the human blood has the very same molecular structure, right? The only difference, we have iron into the center of our hemoglobins, and chlorophyll, you got magnesium. But it also makes sense because the oxygen is coming directly out of the chlorophyll of the trees, which is allowing you to breathe and be alive. And that's what we call the Holy Spirit or the Holy Ghost. It's breath. Well, they all didn't know that, right? You thought the Holy Ghost was something else. The Holy Ghost is actually breath. Okay? So let's just get that underway. So the human body and plants have a symbiotic relationship. So when the Bible is telling you that, hey, I give you seeds and fruits, plants for food, it makes perfect sense. Because that's where you get your very breath of life to breathe in to even be here on IG Live with me right now. Okay? Let's get that understood. Okay? Now, so we know that plants are not forest decoration. Clearly, everything within existence has a divine purpose. Because remember, if you're saying that God is all knowing, right? God is all knowing. So obviously, God make all these different plants with different, different abilities, different compounds, different constituents, different actions. They're all for different reasons and different purposes. So basically the plans are part of the divine blueprint. They're part of the divine orchestration of existence. Okay? So first of all, let's just get that straight. Okay. Now, as we're talking about the Bible, it tells you about the herbs or the healing of the nation, right? It also tells you, I give you seed and fruit for food. It also tells you about the clothing for you to wear. Notice how 90% of people just wear complete polyester. The Bible literally tells you what kind of material to wear on your body. Isn't that a manual? If you have a book that's telling you how to eat, telling you what clothes to wear, think about it. Telling you to even bathe yourself with hyssop to cleanse off your energetic field. You see? Because honestly, okay, you see like how a lot of people just jump into a relationship and the relationship fail and they move on and start fucking somebody else. Then they move on to start fucking somebody else. I mean, kind of like how you see everybody operate in society, where they just move on. Get an ex bitch, get an ex nigga, whatever they call it, an ex husband, whatever. Do you notice how nobody actually cleanse their energy? In fact, Whenever you have sex with one person, you're supposed to cleanse off your body and cleanse off your aura by bathing in sea salt and hyssop. That's what the Bible said, bathe me in hyssop and I shall be clean. But instead, what do you guys do? You sleep with one person and go jump in the next person's bed. Remember, every time you have sex with a person, there's an energetic exchange. You're carrying that person's energetic signature. You're carrying their karma. You see what I'm saying? You're carrying all of that distorted, chaotic energy from that person. You carry that on to go lodge on to the next person and collecting all them damn spirits. In fact, you were supposed to go do a salt bath and an herbal bath with hyssop, which was going to cleanse off the energies off of you from the previous sexual partners and get rid of the soul tie. Listen, most people are walking around right now with a whole bunch of soul tie to a whole bunch of people that they've had sex with, and they've never thought that it's important to go cleanse off their aura and their energetic field to get rid of the soul ties. The Bible literally teaches you how to do that. Bathe me in hyssop and I shall be clean. You see what I'm saying? If you know how to interpret and use the Bible, it is a manual that's teaching you how to cleanse your energy, how to eat, the clothing to wear. Christ even fasts for 40 days. You're supposed to be fasting. So do you see how you guys take the Bible and you run go to church, doing all this other bullshit, but you're not actually following the word of God, or you're not doing what Christ does. You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to get you to see this through a different lens, that instead of actually using the Bible as some kind of a medium for servitude and all this kind of a stuff, how about you embody the Christ consciousness and do what Christ do? Listen, I got so much energy coming through right now, I can't even get my words out, right? Um, what I'm saying is this. If you are a follower of Christ, because again, I respect everybody's religion. I do come from a Christian family, right? I'm not religious, but I understand religions, because I do consider everybody, well, not everybody, but most people, they have a pure heart. They just want to be a part of a congregation or to unite with people that wants to live in a righteous light. It's just that religions and various religions tend to bamboozle a lot of people and so forth, but they still have a good pure heart at the end of the day. In my book, if you live a pure life and you don't harm anybody, you don't hurt anybody, you don't steal from anybody, you don't infringe upon nobody's free will. If you live a pure life, okay, I don't believe that you have to be a part of any religion. Okay, you're gonna go to a good place because what? You're a good person. You have a good heart. I don't believe that you have to be a part of any religion to go to know heaven. First of all, let me just put that out there. Okay, so I respect everybody's religion. Whether you're Muslim, I'm rocking with you. You're Christian, I'm rocking with you. Okay, you're what's the other religion? Um, you're Hindu, I'm rocking with you. You're Buddhist, I'm rocking with everybody because I understand that most of these people are moving from a pure heart and just want to live in alignment with God in that sense. Okay? I see the whole thing with this religion versus that religion versus that religion. I don't entertain that. Okay, I don't entertain that. Okay. But anyway, I just wanted to make that clear. Okay, so what I'm saying though, if you're part of a religion, why don't you embody the highest qualities of that religion? So you should be fasting for 40 days like Christ. You should be wearing the clothes, the material that the Bible tells you about, linen, wool, and so forth. The Bible also talks about crystals too, which was kind of crazy how I see a lot of people talking about crystals is demonic and all kind of stuff. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. Because the very clocks, the very cell phone, the very computer that you're using is using quartz crystal. Okay? The very wireless technology that you're using is using quartz crystal. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, but the Bible tells you about crystal. It talks about emerald. It talks about topaz. Um, Bumbleclad. What the next one then? But we can't remember the other one. But the Bible talks about crystals too. It literally tells you. So it tells you about food. It tells you about clothes. It tells you about fasting. It tells you about crystals. It tells you about how to cleanse your energy, bathe you in hyssop. It teaches you so many things. But see, you're not. What's up? See, listen, we needed to have this conversation today. Okay, we need to have this conversation today. Anyway, let's refocus. I just wanted to touch on to that real quick. So, as we said, the herbs are the healing of the nation. You guys are your popping pills. You see, again, to show you how fake a lot of y'all are. Not that you're intentionally trying to be fake. You're just delusional to the point where you're being fake to yourself. So, you're telling me that you're a religious person. But the Bible clearly tells you that herbs are the healing of the nation. And every time you get a headache, you go pop a ibuprofen. You see, you're not embodying the very religion that you claim to worship. That's ridiculous. Okay? In 2020, when they were going around jabbing up people with that stuff, when I saw the church was actually over there administering the jabs. I could not believe what I was seeing. So the whole time I'm thinking, didn't you say that no weapon formed against you shall prosper? What is this? Didn't you say that no weapon formed against you shall prosper? So how come you're over there now taking a government experimental shot that killed off most of them people that took it died or compromised right now? They're all dying off slowly, and then they're writing down the cause of death as something else. Most of those people who took it are already gone. They literally say it on video. Remember when the Bill Gates guy says that the world is at 8 billion people, and if they do a good job on vaccine, they can reduce that to 15%. They literally said it. They didn't hide it that they were going to reduce the population. And to see the church was in on it was kind of crazy to me. I could not understand it. But then I end up learning that when you have a 501c religious organization, basically you have to do or fall in line with whatever the government says, even if it's something such as sacrificing people. Because what? The 501c give you a tax exemption. So it's like once you're operating under that code, they're gonna allow you to not pay taxes, but whatever they tell you to do, you're gonna have to do it. Listen, you guys can look this up yourself. If you think I'm capping, as the new kids would say these days. I know how you guys come up with these words, but very cool, very cool. Okay, y'all are very artistic, coming up with your own languages and shit, right? So yeah, I just find that to be very fascinating and very interesting, right? So yeah, again, the Bible is a manual, and it is teaching you so many different things. See it as a manual, and you use it to raise your vibration. So even when the Bible talks about the seven seals of revelation, those are the seven chakras, which correspond to the seven musical notes, the seven colors of the rainbow, which also correspond to the seven visible planets, which is the moon, the sun, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, and Saturn. Those are the seven visible planets, which those correspond to the 7 days of the week. Haven't you wondered to yourself, where did the whole idea of 7 days a week? Why is it not 6 days a week? Why is not 9 days a week, 8 days a week? Why is it seven? Most of y'all, you live a life where you don't question nothing. You just get up every day and then just, oh yeah, that's what they say, and you don't question to ask yourself who came up with these stuff, who designed the system, these ideas, these concepts, these theories. This is the reason why so many people live in delusion. They don't question nothing. They come into the world and believing everything that they're told and just living off of those inherited beliefs. That's why I say to you again, everything that you believe to be true, is it true? Or you are told that it's true, and so you believe that it's true, and you never looked any further. Let me ask you this question again. Everything that you believe is true. Is it true, or you believe that it's true because you were told that it's true and you never looked any further? That's 90% of people. You never question nothing. You're like, okay, they say this, they say that. And you jump right into the fucking illusion, participating, giving all your energy over into it, and it's not even real. Okay? It's not even real. Now, I know that this is the kind of conversation nobody wants to have. I get it. That's why so many people, when they come to the internet, like, Y'all post some crazy shit in the comment section because you just don't like to be confronted by reality. A lot of y'all, you just want to come on Instagram and scroll through lustful content and giggle off to a whole bunch of bullshit all day long, watch movies, always distracting yourself. You see, but nobody want to actually confront the deeper meaning and the question to their existence. So whenever I show up, I understand that I'm always not going to be well received by a lot of people, but I'm not, you see what I'm saying? That's okay. Those of you who resonate on certain vibration, you understand. Okay. So you're living your life on this inherited beliefs on various level, all inherited beliefs, and you never question nothing. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't believe anything they told you at all, because remember we talked about that they give you 20% truth with 80% lies. So the 20% truth was to get you to be trusting and believing and open up your subconscious mind, and then it comes in with the 80% lies intertwined with it. Okay, this corresponds to what we call the 80-20 rule. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys may be familiar with the 80-20 rule because it's expressing so many different layers and different components of life where they apply the 80-20 rule. Like they talk about that 20% of men or that are rich actually gets to choose from the 80% of women. It's called the 80-20 rule. Okay, you can look it up. It's basically a formula that's applied in many different components of life, and it's a real thing. So they give you 20% truth with 80% lies because that 20% truth was to get you to be trusting. Oh yeah, this makes sense. This is so true. And then they come in with the lies, basically. Okay? So most people are living off inherited beliefs. They've never had their own experience, never had their own epiphany. Okay? They never come to their own realization of anything that they believe in. They're just because somebody else says it. Or oh, I saw it on TV, or the professor says it, or the scientist says it, or Einstein says it, or Christopher Columbus says it. Type of bullshit. It's not grounded in reality. Okay? Hmm. Okay, so I'm trying a kombucha from this company called, you know what? I'm not going to give them no promotion because I gotta see if it works, if it tastes good. Uh, I mean, not too bad. Not too bad. Okay. Anyway, now that we have that understood, now let us move on to the rosemary. Okay. As I said, we kind of have to like go with the flow of the conversation because everything is coming right through at this point right now. As you already guys know, whenever we're on live and we're talking about stuff, it's real time. Okay, it's real time information coming directly through. Okay, so now that we have that understanding that the herbs are the healing of the nation and that the herbs are not forest decoration and each one has a purpose. Now I'm going to give you some deeper insight into plants and herbal medicine. Now, the first thing about herb that we have to understand here is it has been used. Listen, it has been used for thousands of years, from the beginning of time. Okay, from the beginning of time. In the Asian countries, you have Chinese medicine. In the African countries, obviously, herbal medicine again. Indigenous culture, herbal medicine. Keep in mind that this current system, medical system, is completely new. Okay, it's a fake version of the real thing that John D. Rockefeller made up because he had so much money to do it and to condition people and pay off lawmakers to make that shit into law. Keep that in mind. John D. Rockefeller was America's first billionaire. Think about that. America's first billionaire. That's a lot of fucking money and power. And you can look around even right now. Most people are willing to do anything for money. Come online. What do you see? People are even selling their bodies for money. So that can tell you, you can imagine the level of power that John D. Rockefeller had during back into the early 1900s when we didn't have all this technology and people was more poorer than now. Think about that. Think about being America's first billionaire in the early 1900s, where money has absolute power to do just about anything. So see what John D. Rockefeller did He paid off lawmakers in Congress to basically write into law to remove natural herbal medicine as to be alternative and to make allopathic medicine become conventional. This was all being done by just off greed and money. And that's one of the reasons why nobody's healing. Do you see anybody healing from going to the doctor how much hundreds of times and popping pills? You still got the same disease and dying with it, right? Because what? The only thing that can heal the human body is what's made by God. If God makes your body, doesn't it make sense that it's the herbs that God said is the healing of the nation going to heal your body? Why the fuck would you think that was going to be some synthetic shit out of a laboratory full of chemicals that doesn't even assimilate with the human body? That's what I'm saying. You guys go to school and you still lack basic intelligence. How do you go to school and talk about you got master degree and bachelor degree? You can't even think for yourself or make sense of life or express independent thought. They actually dumbed you down. Why would you think that some laboratory made shit that can't even assimilate with the human body was going to heal you? And you're still moving as if you have no type of a sense. As soon as you get a headache, you run to ibuprofen, ibuprofen. Whole time aspirins are made from white willow bark. Do you see how stupid you look? But then again, I don't want you to feel like I'm attacking you, even though somewhat I do want you to feel the importance of stop operating in stupidity. So I'm not here to baby you at the end of the day, but I do realize that it's because we've been cut off from ancestral wisdom. That's the problem. We've been cut off from ancestral wisdom. So now we start to look to get knowledge from society and the pseudoscientists and the fake shit that they broadcast on the television because they understand anything that comes across the human eyes leaves an impression upon the subconscious mind. So we've been cut off from ancestral wisdom, and that's why we end up in this predicament. But guess what? That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. We're tapping back into the forgotten wisdom of the ancestors and the ancient people that's been here for thousands of years. Okay? But in order for us to delve or open up back these doors, you're gonna have to have an open mind. You can't be coming on here talking about, oh bro, but I'll Google what you said and Google said it's not true. How stupid do you look? Do you think the very same matrix was ever going to give you information to allow you to free your mind? First thing first, never go on Google looking for a validating of any information, unless it's some basic shit. But when it comes to anything regarding health, okay, you have to use DuckGo. Go to Google, type in DuckGo. You need to use a search engine that doesn't filter out information. Listen, as a deep researcher, because I'm obsessed with knowledge and information. A lot of people don't know that about me, but I'm like obsessed with knowledge and information. That's all I do. Study shit, read it, study, experiment. Okay? I will tell you that over the last almost 15 years of constant studying and stuff. There's a lot of stuff that I have screenshotted on my devices that I can go back to Google and look for right now, and the articles are gone. The websites are gone. All the information, they wipe that shit off of the internet and start to put up their own article to try to debunk facts. And if I didn't have screenshot, you can see how a person can go to Google right now and type some shit in and come and be like, yo, bro, Google said this is not true and that's not how this works. Think about that. I literally have multiple screenshots of things that I searched back 10 years ago that's now is gone, vanished. So what they're doing is they're, especially now they got AI. Oh damn, it's over for y'all. They got AI now, it's over for y'all. Okay. They're removing every information that's actually valid or correct, especially when it revolves around any kind of a herbal or natural remedies or any kind of a relative information that can give a person a breakthrough into a deeper, profound level of understanding surrounding any kind of a topic. They're removing that shit and now they're putting up their own article to try to debunk it. Let me give you a prime example. If you go to Google right now and type in lily of the valley, they're going to tell you that, hey, lily of the valley is toxic. Every part of this plant is toxic. Stay away from this plant. I've been consuming lily of the valley for years because lily of the valley is good for the heart. And actually, it heals congestive heart failure. Okay, it is strong though, so you need to dilute it. But Google tell you every part of this plant is toxic. Stay away from it. Okay, I end up learning about that plant from Dr. Sebi too, because Dr. Sebi was using it to heal people of congestive heart failure. Lily of the Valley is powerful when it comes to helping the heart and open up the arteries and the ventricles. There's another herb called Devil's Claw. Okay, powerful herb, good for the blood as well, and so many other benefits. You go to Google, they're going to tell you, hey, toxic plants, stay away from it at all costs. So you can imagine a person who grew up in a matrix or a person who goes to school, they come and Google something and now they're in fear. You see, they will never touch it because what? Google tell them that, hey, this is not good, it will kill you. See, because what? Now you're relying on synthetic information from a fake society that they've just created by a group of people that comes out of a secret society. You see, your knowledge is not based off ancestral wisdom or ancient wisdom that's been proven useful for thousands of years. This is what the matrix is. They cut people off from the true wisdom of their ancestors and all the primitive and ancient and indigenous people that's what was here way before. And now they formulate their own synthetic version of stuff and what they want you to believe. And then they immerse you into that fake reality. And you live the rest of your life believing that you're truly really living and what you're being told is real. You see, that's why in the Matrix, Morpheus says to Neo, it is the world that have been pulled over your eyes, Neo, to blind you from the truth. You came into the world and everything that they've shown you, you believed it. Everything they told you, you believe it. The food they told you to eat, you believe it. The milk they told you to drink to strengthen your bones, you believe it. The dead animals they told you to eat to give you vitamin B12 and protein, you believed it. The fake science and shit, they tell you go to space, oh, they go to space and they go land on the moon, you believe it. Bullshit. All ancestral wisdom says that if you want to go to space, you have to go to the ocean. So people, so the ancient people knows that if you're trying to go to space, you have to go to the ocean, not fly up into no sky talking about talking about you going to no planet. But look how you guys believe all of that bullshit. You see what I'm saying? Because once they cut you off from ancestral wisdom, they can now manufacture whatever they want to manufacture, whatever they want you to believe. And listen, and that's why they use the television to do it. Because remember, a television, it comes from the black mirror, which is the scrying mirror. Okay? Now we're gonna have to go over into some fucking metaphysics, right? Just to give you some insight to make sense of this shit. Because like when we're tapping into deeper levels of conversation, I'm not telling you things for you to believe in. I'm proving it to you. Okay? So the very television, if you read the book called 1984 by George Orwell, this is what George Orwell was fighting against because he knew that this device was going to condition people's mind to literally manipulate the way how they perceive reality. Because they were using the television during that time to manufacture consent. So back during that time, when you know they pop up on the news on the television and telling people, oh, there's terrorists over there. This is called manufacturing consent. By telling you that another country is a terrorist, you now support them to going over there to go kill those innocent people to steal their resources. That's what the television does. It's literally an MK Ultra mind control device. And whatever people see on the television, they automatically assume that it's real. If you read the book 1984 by George Orwell, his name is not even George Orwell. Okay? Listen, the fact that he was going against the system, they blacklisted him and banned him. No publisher would publish his book. The man had to change his name, and his book was written in 1948, and he flipped the name of the book to 1984. So he had to make up a fake name just to publish his book, just because he was going up against the system. Why do you think I'm shadow banned and deleted from all platforms? Even though I got 1 million followers, still they literally limit anybody from seeing my content much. Because what? The nature of this conversation that we're having. Once anything that you're bringing goes against the matrix and the agenda of the matrix, now you're seen as an enemy that they need to suppress and block you and censor you, basically. This has been going on way before I was even born. I just don't have a weak spirit like most people who operate in fear. Oh, bro, you need to be careful sharing healthy information. You see what they do to people? Like, people been trying to project all these fears on me, but no, I'm living in my purpose. This is what I'm here to do. I'm designed for this. Because I'm spiritually strong enough to go through all the different variations of experience that I've been through since being on this journey. A lot of things you guys don't even know about at all. Like, get what I'm saying? So this is how the system operates. Okay, it tries to banish or get rid of anybody who comes with any information that goes against the agenda. Okay, so clearly by now you guys have seen, even with the Epstein files and all this kind of stuff, you guys have seen and understand the nature of the kind of people that you're dealing with. People that eat children and rape little kids. These are the people that you guys worship. You see, this is kind of crazy. So it's not hard to tell that society is being run by demons who are actually using the so-called leaders to demonic influence to cultivate and construct a reality and a society where people are very subservient to where it can siphon off their energy while harvesting the children. You see, you guys, listen, you guys don't want to confront the reality for whatever things is. You just want to get up and, the new movie coming out. Usher and Chris Brown concert. It's the only thing you guys care about. You see, you're not willing to confront reality for really what's going on and the real predicament of life. You use entertainment to distract yourself from reality. That's 90% of y'all. You remember when the whole files came out and everybody was talking about the files? And I was like, let me see how long this is going to go for. As soon as they did the Super Bowl, people forget about all the files and what they were doing to kids. All of a sudden, it was all about Bad Bunny. Oh, did you see his performance? And after that, notice everybody forgot what they're doing to the children. Nobody even talks about it anymore. They move on to the next celebrity concerts and like it never happened. This is the kind of system that we live in. Most people are puppets, literally. Their mind is so conditioned by the very same television. Okay? So let me explain to you. The television is made of the concept of the black mirror. The black mirror is a scrying mirror. Okay? It's made out of obsidian glass, which is a portal. Okay? So literally, they could use a scrying mirror to also monitor people, to open portals for demonic entities or spirits to travel through. They can use it to see different places, to do rituals, right? So a lot of people who even have like altars and stuff, they have a scrying mirror on their altar. So the television or the black mirror was made of the concept of the scrying mirror. That's why on the TV you have what they call broadcasting. Because the scrying mirror was used to cast spells and stuff on for whatever not. Okay? Then on the scrying mirror, they use it to channel different entities or different spirits from different dimensions. Don't you got channels on the TV? You got channels and you got broadcasting and you got programs, right? Wait, did you think that that was a coincidence? Listen, technology is just a okay, so technology is a more digitized version of occultism. Let me break it down to you. Okay, even the very cell phones that we're using, how you can pick up your phone and dial the number in to call somebody else. See, you don't even understand that that's actually coming from occult metaphysical concepts. That's why you use crystals. That's why all these technology have to use crystals. That's why you use quartz. You wouldn't have no computer without a clear quartz. You wouldn't have no cell phone without a quartz. You won't have no wireless technology without no quartz. You notice how they still have to use the very same elements, spiritual elements, occult elements to even create technology? Because technology is just a digitized version of occultism and metaphysics or sorcery in that sense. Okay? Because you're going to have sorcery, you're going to have dark sorcery. This is truly really what you're dealing with. So majority of the people in society is under a spell. Let me put it out there so that you can understand. Okay, let me kind of just go into this a little bit. See, I want to get into the rosemary, but I have to go with wherever the energy is flowing right now. Let me kind of show you something. Okay, when you go to Target to shop, you ever notice when you go inside a Target, you go inside of there and you come out with a whole bunch of stuff that you didn't plan to buy? You're like, every time I go to Target, I end up spending money there. The symbol or the logo that Target has, it's a sigil. Do you guys know what a sigil is? Do your homework. I'm not going to tell you what a sigil is because you need to learn on your own. It's a sigil. All these logos that you see on these company cars, Mercedes-Benz, that's a sigil. BMW, that's a sigil. So what you call a logo is a spiritual element that's also enchanted and charged for a specific purpose. So you're just thinking, oh, it's just an automobile company. No, it's a sigil, and behind the scenes, they're charging up these sigils with different elementals for specific purposes. Just like how you guys go to Starbucks to buy coffee. You notice you have the mommy water symbol on there because she governs over the water element. And that's why you keep going to Starbucks drinking that coffee. That coffee is not that special than any other else coffee, but you keep going there for the aesthetics, taking pictures there. You don't realize that you're actually under the spell. It may sound hocus pocus to a lot of people because you lack certain level of knowledge and profound understanding of the conversation we're having. So in your mind, who you just go to school and watch TV and you don't understand metaphysics or how things manifest or the interconnectedness of things in the unseen, to you, all everything that I'm saying is gonna sound like a whole bunch of rubbish and foolishness and to you, because it's foreign to your consciousness. Okay? So if you're sitting over there watching this right now, and everything that I'm saying is not even making sense to you, it sound off, like, what is he talking about? This guy is crazy. Exactly. Because you see, you're programmed with a level of information that create a synthetic version of reality that has no connection between what I'm talking about. Okay? So understand that. So a lot of things that's around you right now, which you perceive to be normal, you don't realize that it's stuff that's conditioning your mind very, through subtle forces that you can't even sense. A lot of people don't okay, a lot of people don't have a extrasensory perception. The six senses are cut off completely. That's what the fluoride does. Why did you think they put fluoride in the water? The fluoride was to shut down the pineal gland, which is responsible for your extrasensory of perception. It allows you to pick up on subtle forces and stuff. It allows you to, basically, it gives you a intensive, more cognitive function and awareness abilities. So notice how first they actually disarm the faculty that you would use to pick up on certain things, so that you don't have no understanding of what's going on around you. They have to first dull in that sixth sense. That's why they put the fluoride in the water and tell you that, oh, the fluoride is there to protect your teeth from tooth decay. And you guys actually believe that bullshit. How can fluoride protect your teeth from tooth decay? How about you just stop eating processed sugar? Your tooth cannot decay unless you eat processed sugar. Sometimes I gotta laugh because I cannot believe you guys are so dumb. That's what I'm talking about. You going to school and claiming that you got all these degrees, but you can't even navigate your very own reality. You don't think for yourself. They can tell you all this whole bunch of bullshit and you just believe it. Just like 2020. Oh, Operation Warp Speed. Go take the jab. Go take the booster. And y'all run up in there like lamb to a slaughter. I remember during that time, you guys turned against us that didn't want to take it. You notice how now everybody's acting like we're all good, like we besties now and everything has always been good. But I remember that when you're under pressure, you betrayed us. You turned against us and said that we were the problem and that we were endangering society because we didn't want to take it. How ironic that now everybody's acting like shit is sweet, right? Crazy, right? Now the people who took it having sex with the people who didn't take it. It's crazy out here. Okay, and it's crazy out here. I remember. I remember. Okay. So again, the logos that you see on these big companies, they're not just a logo. Those are sigils. Okay, behind the scenes, they're charging it up with all kind of different shit. Okay, to make the brand attractive, like all them designer clothes and designer brand. Think about it. Oh, people are so proud. Oh, I got a designer wearing somebody else's last name that don't even like you. But you're spending thousands of dollars because you want to feel special. The- You see, them shits is enchanted. But it's okay. I don't feel like you guys are ready for this level of conversation to even go deeper into this stuff. Okay, so I think I'm just leave it there on the surface level, just some things for you to think about. Okay, right? But understand the TV is a occult device that came from the scrying mirror. Okay, right? And understand that it casts illusions into your mind, into your subconscious mind. Understand that. All right, all right. So you know, basically, so we're gonna get in on the herbs a little bit here. I feel like I'm gonna save the deeper levels of the occultism because not everybody here have the capacity, is it the capacity or the mental fortitude to even pierce into the veil that we're going through. Only a few of you guys, that's more mentally developed, you see, or been on your own journey of exploration and you've awakened your mind to a certain level. You can understand it, but for a lot of people here, they don't understand nothing we're talking about. And and really and truly, I do want to give them the health information that they came here to get. But sometimes we just have to somewhat like tangent off, branch off into another tangent, just to bring everything into a full circle to give significance as to why it's so important for us to get our health together. Okay. Now, as we talked about before, the reason why a lot of y'all is like you lack certain level of awareness and you can't feel solar energy is because your body is clogged up with cholesterol. So whenever you go to the doctor and they be like, yo, you got high cholesterol. Understand that the meridians in your body is clogged up. The meridians are the energetic circuitry which your energy flow from one chakra, from one organ to the other. That's the whole point of acupuncture. Have you ever wondered why in Chinese medicine they do acupuncture? Because acupuncture allowed them to bridge over the blockages in the meridians to allow the person's energy to flow to restore the vital forces of their organs. So acupuncture can literally heal your body from a disease because what? Whenever you end up with a disease in a specific part of the body, like basically the energy or the vital force of energy is also cut off. Because what? The animal fats and the processed sugar and the heavy metals, the artificial flavor, the artificial color, these things lodge into your soft tissue and into your organs. And they eventually create blockages. Because remember, every single disease is caused by what? Obstruction, pollution, heavy metals, and parasites. It doesn't matter what the disease is. It's caused by obstruction, pollution, heavy metals, and parasite. There's nothing else. I'm pretty sure by now you guys understand that if you can do proper parasite cleansing, 90% of all your diseases are gone. And I listen, I've helped people to heal from herpes, HPV, lupus, the big C. Not even gonna say the name on here, but we know that that's also caused by a parasite. Look up Dr. Royal Rife work. You see that he created the Rife machine that destroyed this parasitic organism and the cancer was gone. But notice how you turn the television on what do you see on the television? Them showing you people, little kids with no hair, right? They're like, oh, please donate to St. Jude or donate to this or donate to that. They have Women Breast Cancer Month. They literally cover up every single information regarding methods of people healing from the big C, but then put out a commercial and act as if, oh, leading scientists are working on a breakthrough that can potentially heal cancer. They're lying. They already know what it is. They know the methods to actually heal it, but instead they put you under radiation. Chemo for you, chemo for you, chemo for you. Then they put you in hospice to go die. Because when they do that and they send you to go die, you become a sacrifice. Remember, we talk about the medical system is also rooted in sorcery. See, you guys still don't get it. You really don't get it. Planned Parenthood, sorcery. They worship Baal. All those kids that get aborted at Planned Parenthood is a sacrifice to Baal. You see, you guys get up every single day and think that everything is normal. You don't seem to understand the depth of the type of shit that you live in. I mean, the fact that you live in a society where children are not safe, where children are being harvested and eaten, that doesn't tell you that the system is demonic. Now, I mean, you can't see everything now through that very same lens. All information regarding proper healing, they get rid of that, suppresses that. It's sorcery. So yes, when you go into the system and they put you to all these procedures and stuff, and you die, you become a sacrifice. Also, whenever your doctor tell you that, oh, you got 3 months or 6 months to live, the doctor is casting a spell on you. Literally, oh, you only got 6 months to live. Most people die within that 3 to 6 months that they're told because they believe it. You ever heard the terminology believe kill and believe cure? Yeah, it's really, really that deep. Notice on the symbol of the medical system, don't you see the two snakes going up going up the pole? That's the caudaceous staff, inverted. Okay? They've been operating in sorcery. Now, let me break something down to you so you can understand. You walk into the supermarket right now, right? And you start to buy your cereal, your cornflakes, your honey nut Cheerios, your tricks for kids, your puffs, you buy your cake, you buy your donuts, you stop by your fast food restaurant to pick up your burgers full of human meat, but you guys are still eating human meat. It's crazy to me. I thought people would have stopped once they learned and saw in the files that human DNA is inside of the burgers. And when I drive past the fast food restaurants, it's the drive-through is long as fuck. Y'all don't care. Okay, so here's what. I want you to think about like a box of donuts. I want you to think about some cotton candy. I'm just using some more simpler things. We can get into the extreme, okay? But I want you to think about this. Do you ever think to yourself and say, yo, who created this? Who put these ingredients together? Who put the ingredients together to create the ice cream, which is artificial flavor, artificial color, tons of food coloring, and processed sugar, right? And dairy. Who actually came up with the idea and the ingredients to make that? See, you're not thinking about that. You're just thinking, oh, just ice cream. Okay, okay. When you think of like is some Skittles or M&M or whatever that is, right? That you feed to your kids. Notice how you guys never think about who create these things and why do they create these processed food. Here's what it is. The people who are creating these processed foods are Kabbalistic priests. Okay? So I don't know if in you okay, I don't know if in your guys' mind you're thinking that oh these companies were started from somebody who one day had a dream to have a company where they make food to feed the world and make the world a better place. I don't know if that's what you guys think in your mind, but no. If you look at most of the companies that make the processed food, it's monopoly. They have a parent company that own like 100 other company that make processed food. It's one parent company that owns all of these other smaller companies that branch out, pretending to be separate. Okay? Now, the people behind the scenes that came up with the ingredients, notice whenever you pick something up in a supermarket and you look at the back of it, that shit got over 70 different ingredients, some that you can't even pronounce. If you try to pronounce that shit, you might even summon a fucking demon, right? These people are Kabbalistic priests. We're putting the ingredients together. They have knowledge of alchemy. They have knowledge of sorcery, right? They have knowledge of metaphysics. The substances that they're putting together is intentional, okay? So when they put the heavy metal and mix that up with some artificial color, mix it up with artificial flavor, mix it up with some carcinogens and processed sugar, they're making a product That's now going to alter gene expression, alter DNA, right? And also depletes the vital force of the body that consumes it, and also lower the vibratory force of that person's vehicle, which is going to be their body. Because remember, food becomes the material from which your blood is synthesized from. Isn't that correct? Yes, whatever you consume becomes the material from which your blood is now synthesized from, right? So food is a direct access doorway into your bloodstream. Again, I know you guys are not thinking that deep. You're too surface level. Because what? You're also being ruled by gluttony. Gluttony, lust, envy, fear. Those are some of the seven deadly sins. I want you to see the layers of this shit. So that's why you keep eating this crazy ass food and you've watched it kill your parents, your grandparents, your favorite uncle. You listen, if you've been here for the last 30 years, you've watched a lot of people who die from various disease, cancer, diabetes, all cardiovascular disease. They've all died from the food. And you're still eating it today. Why? A lot of y'all, you've been with me for the last 15 years. And we've been at this non-stop. Live after live, videos after videos. Because I don't do nothing else. Okay? I'm here specifically for this purpose, for the entirety of my existence being on this earth. Y'all been with me for a long time. And the fact that some of y'all still got up this morning and pour yourself a cup of coffee and eat some pig's ass bacon and pour, and pour syrup on that dirty ass pancake and ate that shit, it goes to show that, hey, you don't, you just don't love yourself that much. See what I'm saying? Because of gluttony. It's like you know better, but you don't do better because what? You're under the stronghold of the spirit of gluttony. And instead of a lot of you actually getting your life together, you want to make up these excuses just to evade accountability. Oh, bro, we all gonna die anyway, bro. Just say you don't love yourself. Eating healthy and taking care of the body that God gave you, the temple of God, have nothing to do with trying to escape death. It's about improving your quality of life so that you can fulfill your purpose, your God-given purpose of being here. Y'all on that surface level shit talking about, oh, we all gonna die anyway. Just because you're under the spirit of gluttony. You know something is bad for you and you still get up and still continue to eat it because you just don't love yourself enough. You love you love your pleasure more than yourself. Admit it. No difference from people who's moving straight out of lust. You're under the stronghold of the spirit of lust. So even when you do find a relationship that it can actually work, you can't stop fucking or cheating, right? Because what? Lust got you. You're unable to commit because lust got you. See what I'm saying? And that's why porn is free. Haven't you thought about that? Nothing is free, but porn is free. Nothing is free, but porn is free. You notice when you come on Instagram, what do you see on the timeline? When you go to the For You page, what do you see? As soon as you come on Instagram, what do you see? Lustful content. BBLs, booty, all kind of stuff everywhere. It's all lust, 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 lust. It's to the point where people's identity now is to lust. Listen. I remember growing up in the 90s when people used to do artwork, people used to can dance, people used to create, people used to express themselves through their own inner creativity, through their own substance. I remember during that time, like life was really good during that time. Poetry, people used to do their poetry. You know, people literally express themselves through that inner substance, their own energetic signature. Now you come on the internet, it's just lustful content, lustful content. Now I'm not gonna say that as a man, I don't be enjoying the visual sometimes, but it's like, yo, every single day, every corner you look, it's the same thing. At that point, they become like, yeah, that's ridiculous. But the point I'm trying to make is to say that notice how they try to keep you trapped in lust because that's the kind of stuff that they promote. So basically, all the creators and the people who are posting things of value, you like you don't see that stuff on the for you page, or you don't see that stuff on the algorithm. But they'll put everything on the algorithm that pulls you into the sphere of lust. They're literally doing this on purpose. It's no difference. Lustful content, you watch more porn, right? And then processed food commercials. This is all being done by the people who runs the matrix, which is like the architect of the matrix. Okay, this is how it works. So I don't think you guys understand the gravity of the situation. So again, the same people who owns the processed food, who manufacture the processed food, they're not regular people who just had a dream to one day have a successful company that makes food. These are Kabbalistic priests that are doing sorcery. Okay, those foods and stuff that and those ingredients being put together to an alchemical process is a form of sorcery directly to manufacture a disease inside of your body. Because the same people who owns the factory for the foods are the same people who owns the the companies that manufacture the drug. See how that work? And that's why you have that company that basically regulate food and drug. Food and drug is not even supposed to be in the same context. See, it's right in front of your face, but what? You're so delusional and so caught up into the whole distractions and shit that you never even get a chance to reflect upon your own reality. So most of y'all been living a life that you don't even reflect upon your very own reality. You just wake up, oh, it's time to eat. It's time for entertainment. It's time to get this money. It's time to have sex. Time to go to sleep. Time to drink some liquor. It's time to gossip. It's time to drama. It's time to fight. And then you go to sleep and you wake up and you do the same thing over again. This has been the rhythm, the rhythmic pattern of most of the people of society today. Okay? And that's why I'm here. Okay, that's why I'm here. Although I'm going through heavy shadow banning and my account's being deleted off all platforms, I'm still showing up because this is my purpose. What is your purpose? Because every last one of us have a divine purpose. Remember, you're not just here just to be here to consume food and just live as a worthless skin suit and die. God have placed a divine purpose within you, but how you gonna find it when all you do is watch TV and listen to trap music and derogatory music and worship celebrities and being controlled by the seven deadly sins? How you gonna find your purpose? You see what I'm talking about? There's a deeper meaning to your existence, but you're not gonna find it because you're living in darkness. You're living a life where your vision is constantly being clouded. Now, let me break this down to you so you can understand. Have you noticed that? Okay, how do I put this so that you can understand? How do I put this so that you can understand? Because sometimes I have to try to break this down into more digestible concepts so that you can see where I'm coming from, so it can make sense. Why do you okay? Why do you listen to music all day long? If you're not listening to music, you're listening to the radio. On your way to work, you got a song on, right? Or you got the radio on. When you get back home, you turn the TV on. Have you noticed that you're always listening to something? Always listening to something? Then they have this terminology called awkward silence, which I found to be very interesting. What is an awkward silence? You notice how a lot of people actually use that word? Oh, it was an awkward silence. So in their definition, you can be talking to somebody, and then we talked about a topic or a concept, and then both person just become silent because they're thinking, and they call that awkward silence. But what I'm trying to get you to see here is, why is silence awkward? Silence is never awkward. Actually, you need to listen, you need to be in silence. Silence is where you're able to hear your intuition. Because guess what? What if I tell you that God is always talking to you? You just can't hear because what? You always have some shit playing and listening to some shit. You don't sit in silence with yourself. You don't meditate, so you never actually take the time to sit in silence. God speaks to you through silence. Think about it. When you're in the shower, right? When you're in the shower and you're bathing and it's just the water running, don't you have some of your greatest ideas and stuff that come to you into the shower? Isn't it within those moments of when you're showering, you be having some bright ideas or you come to a certain realization? Like a light bulb goes off in your head and you're like, oh shit, like you come to realization in the shower, right? The deepest questions that you had about things that you wasn't sure about tends to come to you while you're in the shower. Is the terminology for this called like a premonition? I don't know the word, but I know that it's something. Um, yeah, and in the bathtub, right? When that water is running, the frequency changes, and now you can hear the inner command or the voice that has no sound that speaks to you from within. Now you can hear it because what? You're in this wavelength of silence now. I notice everything else is just pure noise. Always got noise. Always a song playing. Always a song playing. Always a song playing. It's a distraction. And they end up putting awkward on silent. Oh, it's an awkward silence. So that's actually saying something to your mind that, hey, I want you to see how programming works. The reason why I'm even bringing this to your attention, I want you to see how they program you subconsciously without you even realizing. By them making up the word awkward silence, you see, it makes you believe that, hey, being silent is not something that's good at all. That's what they talk about. Like if you're having like a business meeting or you're negotiating with somebody, like you can get them to over-explain themselves by you just not saying much. They're gonna over-explain themselves just to try to fill the gap of the silence. This is actually a mental engineering technique that a lot of people use during business or negotiation. Okay, they'll be having a whole negotiation and one person will just stop and just be quiet and not respond. The other person is gonna try to fill the gap with the silence because what? They're taught that silence is bad, awkward silence. So you can see in other areas of life where people do not value silence at all. They have to be listening to something all the time, right? At the gym, I can understand at the gym, you put your music in at the gym because, yeah, you're working out. You're using that music to motivate you. That's different. But every areas of life, you home, you got music in the ears. Like, when do you actually sit with yourself and sit in silence so that you can hear when intuition is speaking to you? Remember, prayer is you telephoning to God, but intuition is God telephoning to you. But you can't hear God over all that fucking distortion that you're playing all the time. And the crazy part, the stuff that you guys are listening to is not even things that are adding value to your life or to your mind. It's some low vibrational music, gossip and podcasts, and some whole bunch of bullshit. You see what I'm saying? So you're not growing, you're not expanding, you're not evolving right now because what? You're engaging energetically into the things that are taken away from you, right? And not adding to your growth. So the problem that we're facing today as a whole, as humanity or humans, is that You guys are stuck. You're not evolving. You're not on the ladder to an upward spiral. You're descending. And that's why it seems like the world become a more horrible place the more the year goes by. Is that the world become a more horrible place? Okay, more children going missing, more domestic abuse, more divorces than marriages, more wars, the murder rate going up, the drug use is going up, right? Literally. Now, I understand that you can't force people to change. Everybody has their own power of free will. God has given everybody their own power of free will to do as they please. So, what I learned is that you have to change yourself. The only way the world can change or become a better place is if each one of us change yourself and become a better person. See what I'm saying? And then holistically, the world will become a better place. You see? So, yeah, I just wanted to bring that to your attention. It's a conversation that we definitely need to have. So, I had to come in early. You guys don't normally find me here this early, but that divine urge, it says this is what we need to talk about today. And even though I actually came in to talk about health, I somewhat have to move according to how the energy is flowing. Because everything is real time coming through. Okay. So now that we have that conversation, I trust and hope that you have a profound understanding of what we've discussed. And so now you can start to move in the wavelength to raise your energy. Okay. Stop being manipulated by this artificial system. Stop eating their food. Stop consuming their content, their news, the garbage music. Okay. Otherwise, you're participating in your own demise. Okay. All right. Let me actually start my day because I haven't even started yet. So I didn't even have my tea yet, but it's okay. I'm gonna take some capsules. I'm gonna take some capsules. Okay, I'm gonna take some capsule with this kombucha, and then we're gonna begin. We're gonna get into the next phase of our build. Also, for anybody who's just now coming in, type the number 6 in the comment section. Okay, this is my first time watching your live. Oh, really, goddess? Welcome, welcome to the healing space. Type the number 6 in the comment section. It should send you a link with the discount code and a link to the website. Yeah. Okay, Bella, I got you, Mama. I got you. I'm guessing we have more low vibrational entities pulling up. Um, as always, whenever we're having a high level conversation, I'm speaking about positive things. You're always gonna have low vibrational entities or people that are operating under demonic influence, and they're gonna always try to come into the space to try to disrupt the space or with some kind of a chaotic energy. Naturally, that's kind of normal because lower energy always seeks higher energy to feed from. So even okay, so even in other aspects of life, okay, I was taught to basically ignore or not feed into negative energies because they will starve and fall off at their own weight. So I want you to take this as like a token of wisdom as well. Okay, you always want to starve negative energy because remember, whenever negative energy comes through, it's looking to get, it's looking to feed. But by you actually engaging with it, becomes like a agreement basically. You see, and now it can feed. So generally, you starve it by either blocking it out of your life completely, ignoring it, and it will starve of nutrient and then falls off at its own weight. Okay, so in all other aspects of life, you can apply the very same token of wisdom here. Okay, anything that's coming into your life or your space that's not on the wavelength of the energy or the frequency that you're already on, generally you must reject it or get rid of it because it's only going to drain you or try to push you off of your tangent, basically. Okay? All right. So let's get into some of the things that I'm going to be taking today. So again, you can tap the number 6 in the comment section. Okay. A short cut off sound. Okay, let me know if the sound is still coming through. Let me know if the audio is good. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, so our audio is good. Okay, I bought something and I didn't get the discount. Really? Really? Okay, hold on. Hold on. Okay, my sound is good. Okay, hold on. Let me check to see if it expired already. Let me just double check for you really quick. Give me a second here. But I'm gonna take my parasite capsules, colon capsules, clove. Also, we have clove back in stock again. Okay, we have the grounded clove. As I talk about whenever you're doing a parasite cleanse, the grounded clove is good because the grounded clove is going to kill the parasite eggs. Now, I'm gonna show you the problem that we had before. I know you guys probably not gonna be able to really see it, right? So these are the cloves that we have here before. Okay, you're not gonna be able to see it. Maybe you can, but the clove is so strong that it shatters them inside of the capsules. Can you guys see that? Let me see. Can't really see it, right? But the capsules are broken because the clove is too strong. Okay. So this was the problem that we're actually having with the clove is that the clove is too strong. So let me kind of explain to you though. So all clove is not really equal. So you see the cloves that come off the older trees, those cloves are more potent. Then the clove that come from the younger trees, that clove is not that strong because the tree is still young. But you see the trees that's been around for like say 70, 80 years old, clove tree, those are gonna produce some of the most potent clove. And the eugenol in the clove is so strong that it starts to shatter and break the capsules. As you guys can see with this one, it shatter and break the capsules. So the problem I was having with this one is that when you guys get the capsules, they're all shattered and broken inside of the bottle because the clove is too strong. Okay. So I end up discontinuing the clove capsules for a while because it's like, yo, yeah. So anyway, I end up getting some other vegetarian capsules that are more reinforced. Okay. So we have the clove capsules back. Okay. Super, super strong. Okay, so we have them back again, but they're inside of these smaller containers now. Okay, we got them in smaller containers now. So we have clove capsules back again. Okay, yeah. So when you're doing a parasite cleanse, you want to add in some of the clove capsule because it's going to kill the parasite eggs, which is going to prevent the cycle. Okay, wagwan, wagwan. Mm-hmm. Because I definitely heard the static sound or the washing machine sound. So guys, it's raining. Are you guys talking about the rain on top of the roof? It's raining. Okay, it's raining. So okay, here's the thing. Okay, so my roof is actually zinc, and I specifically bought the zincs from Home Depot because I wanted this sound. Okay, ever since I was a child, I always like when the rain is hitting the roof and you just hear when the frequency of the water drops. So I specifically gotten this very same roof because that's what my grandmother had when I was young, and I always love when it rains and it hit the roof. So you guys are hearing the rain on top of the roof. Okay, it's not a washing machine, love. It's not a washing machine. That's cute though. That's cute. Okay, so yeah, so clove is gonna help you to kill the parasite eggs because the eugenol is gonna pierce into the parasite eggs and kill them from the inside, destroying the cycle, basically. Okay, so cloves are good. Now obviously you can use grounded clove, which I do recommend the grounded clove, but you can do the clove tea too. But I like the grounded clove because the grounded clove gets to literally travel throughout your intestines. When you drink the clove in the liquid form, it goes directly to the bloodstream. But when you take the clove in a powdered form, obviously it has to go through the intestines. So you end up just coating the lining of the intestines and killing any parasite eggs or any parasite larvae or biofilm that may be lodged into the walls of the intestines. Okay? So just wanted to break that down so that you understand the whole entire process. So what I'm going to take here, I'm going to take a couple of my clove capsules. So 2, 4. Okay, so this is 6 clove capsules. So these capsules are more, these are more smaller. So pretty easy to take. Now I know that some people kind of have a hard time like taking capsules, and I always say that's why I like to take it with a kombucha or some cold pressed juice. And I kind of like. Okay, so put it this way. I take the capsules and pretend like I'm not taking no capsule. I don't try to think about it like, yo, I'm taking capsules right now, because sometimes like your body probably just kind of like just stop right here. So I just kind of like just drink it with the juice, like I'm just drinking normal juice. It's just easy, right? So, all right, and that's it. You see, I kind of like just take the capsule with the juice at the same time, so it just pass through fast, like it's nothing. Basically, it's raining a lot where I'm at too. Yeah, yeah. I really like the rain. Really like the rain. Basically, point blank. Don't think of when you're taking the capsules. Don't try to think about it. Okay, just take them with the juice real quick, and don't overthink it. If you overthink it, it might be a little bit difficult for you to take it. Okay, so these are the parasite. These are the parasite cellular capsules. Okay, so I'm doing my little parasite cleanse right now. So I took clove capsules. These are the parasite capsules. If you're here for the first time, let me just show you what that looks like. You're here for the first time. We don't got any more colon capsules. Oh, we do. Okay. All right. So, all right. So if you're here for the first time, this is our parasite slayer. Damn, this label is on so slanted. But this is the parasite slayer capsules. Okay. And this already have everything combined in there that's going to eliminate every single parasite plus biofilm. Okay, because you have to also understand when it comes to removing parasite from the body, you're not gonna just have one specific kind of a parasite. Okay, you may have tapeworm, pinworm, flukeworm, roundworm, ropeworm. So we basically made our parasite layer to eliminate all variations of parasite plus killing biofilm as well. Because biofilm is that protective layer or umbrella that parasite tends to hide under. Additional to that, we also have the biofilm breaker, which I do recommend to get as well. Um, Do we have more around? Uh, Let me see. Oh, look like we sold out. Okay. So I don't see the biofilm breaker. I'm guessing my assistant probably sold them out already. Or she have them in another location, which I don't know where they're at. But we do have the biofilm breaker as well to eliminate parasites from the body. So I'm gonna take 6 of my parasite capsules. Done. Okay, done. Okay, now I take 6 parasite capsules, right? So watch this. So I took the clove, I took the parasite capsules, and then I'm going to take colon cleansing capsules. So we have colon cleansing capsules in here, and we have the lymphatic system capsules as well. Okay, so we got lymphatic system capsules for your lymphatic system. Let me show you the lymphatic system real quick for the people who's new here. For the people that is new here, I got you. All right. Okay. All right. So here we have the lymphatic system. Now, you'll notice that the lymphatic system connects to every single cell and tissue inside of the body, right? You notice that? Connect to everything. Why? Because the lymphatic system is the sanitation department of your body. Its job is to literally get rid of excess waste and debris, right? Filth, excess acid, excess water from around the crevices of the cell, called interstitial fluids. So, in order for your cells to maintain health and vitality, the lymphatic system and the capillaries have to be filtering properly to remove the waste. So, just like how you eat food and you go to the bathroom, your cells do the same thing. Okay? It's a lymphatic system that picks up all the waste from around the crevices of your cells to get them out of the body. So when you don't have no lymphatic movement, you, you're sick. Literally, there's no possible way that you can heal yourself from a disease without getting the lymphatic system moving. It's not even possible. No lymph, no health. Okay? So that's why I recommend doing the colon cleanse, the parasite cleanse, and the lymphatic cleanse. And so I put all of my clients on the trampoline and the rebounder for 25 minutes a day. I have them doing the sauna for 3 times a week minimum. Also, I have them doing lymphatic system massage as well. It's very important while you're doing a cleanse and a detox that you move the lymphatic system. Me personally, outside of my shop, I have a rebounder that I bought off Amazon for like $80. I have a portable sauna I bought off Amazon for $120, and that's what I use. Okay, that's what I use. Okay, so when I'm doing my cleanse, I take these. Later on tonight, I'm gonna do my 25 minutes on the rebounder, jump into my sauna. Yeah. Okay. So the lymphatic system is important. So that's why we have the lymphatic capsules and the lymphatic tea to assist and move the lymphatic system. Now, there's something we call a lymphocyzer. Maybe you're not familiar with the terminology. What is a lymphocyzer? So a lymphocyzer is any food or substance, right, that basically stimulate the movement of the lymphatic fluid throughout the body. For instance, seeded grapes move the lymphatic system. Coconut water move the lymphatic system. See what I want? Yeah, cleavers move the lymphatic system. Yeah, cat's claw move the lymphatic system. Red clover move the lymphatic system. Speaking about red clover, I end up harvesting some fresh red clover, which I can't wait to make tea from. I'm actually gonna make tea from it today. Now I'm actually excited. Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Now I want you. Listen, I want you to see this beauty right here. Okay, one of my favorite lymphatic mover. Okay, one of my fave lymphatic mover here. Okay, alongside cleavers. Okay, this is fresh red clover that I harvested a couple days ago. Okay, fresh, very fresh. Okay, now I want you to hear how fresh it is and how nicely dried it is. Listen to this. Can y'all hear that? Okay, that's how crispy it is. Look how beautiful she is. Look at that. Look at that. I'm so excited. So this is the kind of stuff that make me happy. I don't need much in life to be happy. Trust me. Just so beautiful. So what do you think I'm gonna do now? Okay. I'm gonna put all of this in a pot. A matter of fact, we're going to do it together. Okay. I'm gonna come back to taking the capsules. Let's get this done right now. And we're gonna come back to taking the capsules and talk about the herbs. Okay. So we're gonna do this together right now. All right. Put that over there. Okay, so I have me a stainless steel pot. Let's remove the rubber band. Okay. So we also have red clover for sale. Oh yeah, so we have red clover as well. You can get red clover from the website as well. Okay, I don't think that we have a lot right now currently because we sold out most of what we had this week, but we have red clover left. So if you want red clover, you can add that to your cart as well. All right. So let me get a big scissors and we're gonna cut this up. And also for anybody who's just not coming in, you can tap the number 6 in the comment section. Okay. All right. So let's start. So this tea is gonna be so good. I already know. Hmm. And so what I'm gonna do? Oh, don't be dropped. Can't waste none of this. We can't waste none of this. Now this can't waste today. Okay. Yeah. Listen. This is actually a lot of herbs. What? Probably I'm gonna save some. Probably I'm gonna save some. I didn't realize that it was this much. Hold up. Hold up. Yeah, we're gonna save some. We're gonna save some. We gonna save some for another day. So this is a great red clover. So red clover is great for women, especially too, because remember, it is a divine feminine plant. Remember, we talk about all plants belong to an element, right? And also all plant function under either it's a masculine plant or it's a feminine plant, yin to a yang. Okay, so red clover is a divine feminine plant. So it's good for women who have hormonal imbalances. If you have fibroids, you're gonna need red clover. Okay, any kind of tumor in the body, you're gonna need red clover. Lymphatic drainage, yep, you can't leave out some red clover. All right. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna save a little bit more. I ain't gonna lie, it didn't look like it was a lot until I cut it up. Cause look, it did not look like it was a lot until I cut it up. Okay, so that's good enough. All right, so there we go. We have this for another day. Okay. Also, here's what I'm gonna do this summer. This summer, we're gonna go into the woods. We're gonna do some foraging. Okay, and we're gonna harvest herbs fresh from the forest. Okay, so you guys can see the process. I'm gonna teach you how to identify plants, the proper moon phase that you harvest these plants at, and also, if you want me to like harvest fresh herbs from the forest and ship it directly to you, I'm gonna be doing that too. Okay, so let me tell you the kind of herbs that I can get fresh, which I can harvest them on live with you. Okay, um, red clover, obviously. cleavers. Like right now, I can go harvest a whole bunch of cleavers if I want to. Stinging nettle, burdock, yellow dock. What else? Yarrow. Let me think. What else? What else? What is? Oh, dead nettle. Plantain leaf. Okay. Poke root, mullein. Okay, because I see a lot of mullein in the forest. The other day I was in the forest. There's a lot of mullein, like a lot of mullein. So let me see what else. What else I can harvest? Mugwort, a lot of mugwort. Like right now, if you want 1,000 pound of mugwort, I can harvest 1,000 pound of mugwort and ship to you. Literally, so much mugwort. Um, what else herb do I have access to in abundance right now? Birch and birch bark. Dialing back to my memory right now. Birch and birch bark. Mm, I think that's just about it. Pine needles. If you want pine needles, I can give you fresh pine needles too. Yeah, it's gonna be good. Gonna be really really good. Okay, so we're gonna do live foraging. Mm-hmm. All right, so let's make this tea though. Let's make this tea. So again, fresh spring water. We don't use tap water. Get a little bit more water, and that should be that. All right. So now we're just gonna boil that. Okay, we're gonna bring that to a boil, and then we're gonna turn the fire off. Remember, because it's leaves, I don't need to boil it for long. I just put it in the pot. When put the heat on, once it reach boiling point and it starts to boil, I turn the fire off. Done. Okay, done. That's it. All right. So let us get back to our capsules because I want you to see the process. When it comes to detoxing and cleansing your body, you want to be consistent with the process. Okay. Some of y'all, you buy the teas, you buy the capsules, and you're taking it one day. Then the next 4 or 5 days, you take some again. That's not how it's supposed to be done. Okay. Just like Just like when you go to the doctor and you're taking medication and drugs, right? And you're taking it consecutively, I need you to have the very same energy. Okay? Very same energy. Okay, so we're going to use low heat. 5 should do it. 5 should do it. All right, so we'll make this another day. Probably tomorrow, we'll make the rest of this red clove. Okay? All right, so somebody said horse pills. That's hella funny. Okay, anyway, so remember we talk about taking the clove capsules, right? And the parasite capsules. And now I'm gonna take colon capsules. So why are we taking colon capsules with the parasite capsule? Because what? When you kill the parasite, you want to flush them out. You don't want to kill the worms and have them just sitting inside of the body, right? You want to flush them out. Also, the colon cleansing capsules, I also put herbs in there that also kill parasite as well. So see, it become like a reinforced action. So coming in there to hold up. All right. Me de pan live. Away there. All right. Me de pan live. Me probably know what I'm up master. But me de man. All right. Okay, my cousin is on the way here. She's coming to pick up some herbal medicine, basically. Yeah. Okay, so as I was saying, right? Um, you're doing a parasite cleanse, you want to do some colon cleanse to flush out the parasite out of the body. Okay? So we have to kill them and we have to flush them out of the intestines. Okay? Now keep in mind that majority of the parasites that are inside of your body, they're inside of the intestine because this is where they get to feed off of the undigested food that's inside of your gut. All right. And then we're gonna talk about on the next slide, we'll talk about like the probiotics, the prebiotic, the probiotic, how to restore back your gut flora by using sauerkraut, kombucha, kimchi, and all the different things to basically reculture back the healthy gut bacteria whenever you're done. But we get into that on a deeper level on the next slide. Okay, so now I'm gonna take the colon capsules. All right, and I'm gonna be taking 6 of these too as well. I feel like I want some chickpeas today. I'm gonna soak some chickpeas and cook some chickpeas later. Yeah. Yeah, and that was that. That was that. Okay, so the lymphatic capsules, I'll take the lymphatic capsules later, but I have my clove. Oh, bumba clot. Got to cover the buckle. But I have the clove. Um, matter of fact, let me take this remaining clove that jumps out. It is that easy. So I have my clove, parasite capsules, colon capsules, and basically I'm good. So later on today, I'm going to repeat the process over again. Okay. Now, what's good to eat in between? You can eat raw pumpkin seed. You can eat papaya and papaya seed. Okay, those things are fine for you to have. Okay. Yeah, basically. All right. Now, here's the thing. If you have the oregano oil, right? If you have the oregano oil, you can also use the oregano oil, a couple of drops of the oregano oil diluted with some black seed oil or olive oil. And that's going to help to also break up the biofilms inside of your gut as well. I've shown you guys this 10 times before. I don't feel like I need to go through that process again. But let me just show you real quick. Let me just do it real quick so that I know we got some people here for the first time. Probably don't know what we're talking about. So I don't even know where the oregano oil is at. Okay, so we're just gonna do black seed oil and clove oil, just as a demonstration. Demonstration. Cool. Very simple stuff to do. Okay, so I have black seed oil here. I also have clove oil. I don't know where the oregano oil is at, but I just want to give you a demonstration so you can see how simple and easy this is. Okay, so I have these empty capsules, and all I'm going to do is take one of the empty capsules, pull it open. Simple, right? Now, let's say that this is the oregano oil. This is clove oil, right? But let's say it's oregano oil, right? I would first start off with a couple of drops. So let's say if I'm doing 3 drops, if you're just now starting off, I recommend start off with 3 drops, especially if the oregano oil is like 75% carbachol of strength. Start off with 3 drops, okay? But generally, I will use around 6 or so drops of the oregano oil. right? Then I'm gonna dilute it with black seed oil or olive oil, but this is black seed oil. So I dilute it by filling up the remainder of the capsule. Boom. Then I take the cover half of the capsules, place it over it, squeeze it down, and that's simple. That's it. Very simple stuff. Now, what are the benefits of taking the oregano oil in the capsule form? When you take it in a capsule form, it gets to basically come down, right? It gets to come down and enter in to the duodenum and travel throughout the intestines. Obviously, it depends on what you have inside your stomach. Maybe it gets breaking down inside of the stomach still, right? But the oregano gets to travel through the intestinal lining to basically kill the biofilm and the parasite and the parasite eggs that are lodged onto the pockets of the intestines. When you take the oregano oil, like just put it under your tongue or whatever, it goes directly to the bloodstream. But the bloodstream is not really our concern when we're dealing with parasites. Okay, so if you got colitis, you got SIBO, you got irritable bowel syndrome, right? Which is just the philosophy of Bosky parasite eating up the walls of the intestine. We need to get in to kill whatever is lodged into the walls. So you taking it in a capsule form is more effective because it gets to travel throughout the intestinal lining, not goes directly to the bloodstream. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, good. All right, good. All right, so there we go. So I give you the demonstration. Okay. So don't be calling me acting like you don't know. Now you know. Act like you know. All right. Okay. However, I'm gonna leave you guys in a couple of minutes because I have my cousin coming to pick up some cleanse, and they're very camera shy, so and it's raining. But I'm gonna put some chickpeas of salt there. So for you guys who just not coming in, you can type number 6. This will give you guys some time to type number 6 in the comment section if you have not already to get your link. So I'm gonna make some chickpeas. I'll make some chickpeas. So yeah, well, go on. Welcome to the space. Okay, the code is not active. Okay, let me fix it really quick. Hold on. I probably just need to extend the expiration date on the code. Let me fix it really quick. 5 6. All right. Hold on. All right, Trap. Hold on. Give me a second here. All right, Trap. Give me a second. Let me just fix the code. All right. So coupon. Let me see here. Okay, guys. Don't type number 6. Just put 6. If you put the pound key and a 6, I don't think it's gonna work. Just put number 6 by itself. Bella, you can tell me which code come in. Is it the heal number 10 or love yourself 5? I remember which one gets sent. Somebody said I want to see video of herb foresting. You're gonna see it. Bella, which one of the code now work? Heal number 10 or love yourself 5? Okay, I love yourself 5. Okay. All right. 5 2026. See now, what did that what did? Doesn't even know what it is. 24? Okay, 24. Me, right? Me? Okay. Say as much as me then never know what day today is. Like, okay, June, May. All right, Bella, it's supposed to work now because the expiry date. Um, okay, that work. Let me check the other one now. So the coupon codes are updated, guys. So try again. If you tried it and it didn't work, go ahead and try again. Okay, all right. Do you chew or swallow the papaya seeds? So okay, so here's the thing. With the papaya seeds, you want to chew the papaya seeds for a little bit, and then you swallow the papaya seed. Because remember, the compound in the papaya seed that's actually doing the cleansing is actually called papain, right? But if you swallow the papaya seeds without chewing them, you're gonna poop it right back out. But if you actually break it open, the papain can be released to act upon the wall of your digestive tract and therefore kill the parasite and kill the parasite eggs. So I'm not saying that you're gonna chew the papaya seeds all the way out because I know that it's not a very, you know, not really very peppery and spicy. So not a lot of people really like it, but you can just barely chew it or just break it and then you can swallow them basically. I'm patiently waiting for wild yam. Oh, the wild yam, damn, I keep forgetting to add in the wild yam. My grandfather taught us to make tea from papaya seeds. I mean, yeah, because remember the papaya seeds, you can also grind them out and use them like I would use a black pepper. So there's a lot of different uses for the papaya seeds. Do you necessarily have to have a binder afterwards? Yes. If you're doing the parasite cleanse and the colon cleanse and the papaya seeds, you're gonna need a binder because you're gonna kill the worms and they're gonna die. They're gonna release what instead of the urine, what we call ammonia. They're also gonna release a lot of um, feces and fecal waste. That's gonna give you what we call a die-off symptom. So you're gonna have headaches. You're gonna feel sick, like you're coming out with a fever or flu. So the activated charcoal, okay, is a great binder. That's gonna help you with that. Okay, so it's a good idea to have a binder. Very, very good idea to have a binder. How often do you take the binders? You take the binders when you're doing the cleanse, you take the binders every day after. So say for instance, like I'm taking my cleanses today, tomorrow morning when I get up, I'm gonna consume activated charcoal. So it's like after you kill the parasites, they're gonna release whatever they're releasing, but then you wanna bind that up so that it doesn't really affect you. So I want, yeah. Can all three oils be mixed together? Yeah, if you want to. What is the discount code? Type number 6 in the comment section, and the discount code will be sent to you. Also, if you type the number 6 in the comment section, whenever you get the DM, it's gonna have the number to the shop as well. So if there's any issue within an order, you can text it to the shop number, and when my assistant get here, she'll respond back to you. How's the rife machine going? It's still going pretty good. I'm still working on it. Let me just show you a little glimpse. Okay, so this is one aspect of the rife machine that I'm developing. This is where I'm going to be plugged into. This is a potential meter. I can adjust the voltage. These are all like capacitor sensor plates. I'm putting like a LED device in the middle piece. Um, I designed it to where I can also open it up and do other stuff in it. See, I have a lot of stuff going on in there, circuitry board. So I'm working on the rife machine. I'm not done yet though. And what's so interesting, I can now use AI to pull up all the information and explain how the circuits work and a lot of stuff that I would have to read like a whole book, but pretty good. So I'll let you guys know once the rife machine is done. Do you have black seed oil on your website? No, not yet. So I don't have black seed oil on the website. I have castor oil, but it's not on the website yet either. I'm waiting on the bottles. So next week, there's going to be castor oil and castor oil packs available on the website. I just don't get the bottles yet. Hmm. What's a good brand of olive oil? Olive oil from Greece. Okay, gotta say I haven't gotten the code yet. Did you type number 6? If you type number 6, you should get the code. Binders are used in what part of the detox process? So use the binders after you've finished doing the parasite cleanse. So if you take the parasite cleanse today, you're gonna be taking the binder tomorrow to bind up the parasitic debris and the parasitic waste that the cleanse just killed off. Otherwise, you're gonna go through the extremity of the die-off symptoms, and that's not a very good feeling. You got this. If you type number 6, you should definitely get the discount code to your DMs. Can you have soaked beans in a raw detox? Generally, you don't really want to eat beans in a detox. You need stuff that are more like water content. Because if you're trying to do a detox, you're trying to wash out waste, right? So you're not trying to put on weight or put on protein. You're trying to wash out. So just like you go to the laundromat to go wash your clothes, you use water. Anything that you're cleaning, you need water as the element or the solvent to remove things. So generally, if you're doing a cleanse or a detox, you want to use stuff that are high in water content. So like seeded grapes, watermelon, those things are water. So they're gonna wash out the contaminants out of the system. You wouldn't be eating stuff like beans. That's stuff that you eat when you're trying to put on weight, basically. Okay. Hmm. So black seed oil is alkaline. Black seed oil contains a compound that is anti-parasitic, antimicrobial, antifungal, and so it works similar to like how oregano oil may work. So it's not about something being alkaline, it's about its medicinal property and compound to assist the body in its purification. Okay, got my orders yesterday. I'm glad, Pebbles. Let me know. Let me know if you got everything, and if you have any further questions, shoot me a DM. Okay. So okay, so yeah, you're taking the binders a day after you've taken the parasite cleanse. If you take the parasite cleanse today, take the binder tomorrow. And then after that, you're gonna take your cleanse again, but you'll take the binder the following day afterwards again. Okay. Okay, a good brand of black seed oil. I'm not entirely sure. I end up buying this one at a local store. Okay. Um, yeah, this is actually local. This is actually local. It's not even nothing online. So I'll let you know once I do some research and find a great source of the black seed oil. Okay. Milk thistle and blessed thistle the same? No. Okay, blessed thistle is Cardo Santos. Milk thistle is not. Not the same thing, but they have very similar action when it comes to purifying and cleansing the liver. But the blessed thistle is going to be stronger. The blessed thistle is also what we call a galactagogue. So it's good for a woman when they're not producing sufficient amount of breast milk. Okay, but it's not the same. They're two different herbs, but they look very similar. Okay. Anyway, tribe. I'm gonna have to go right now. Okay. Definitely been here with y'all for quite a minute. So I'm gonna touch base back with you guys again potentially later on tonight. Okay, but as for right now, I have to go. So I trust and hope that today's session is intrinsic and you can find some information within it that can be beneficial to unveiling that greater version of yourself. Thank you for joining me here today. I appreciate your existence and you tapping in with me. For further questions, you can drop me a DM. Okay. And so yeah, so number six, if you have not gotten the code yet, just type number six in the comment section and you will get the code. It's not gonna work once I end the live, it's no longer gonna work. So yeah. All right. So I'm gonna give you all 1 more minute just and then I'll talk to you guys again later on. Oh yeah, I'm gonna come back to talk about rosemary. We're gonna do rosemary and a couple other herbs later on today. All right. Can I just add oregano oil without diluting it with olive oil or no? If you use if you use oregano oil without diluting it, it's gonna burn you up. It's too strong. Okay. So okay, Cariel, if you're still not getting the code, it should be love yourself with the number 5. Okay. Or just inbox me too and I'll try to send it over to you. But I'm gonna go now. So just tap number 6 for anybody who's just not coming in. Drop number 6 in the comment section and it will automatically send you the code. And also join the Discord. Yes, join our Discord. All right, YouTube, I'll catch up with you guys later as well. All right. So thank you for spending some time with me. And I'll see you guys later on today.